Do you want to know how I know that all of the media is broken right now? Like it's broken. All of the media in the United States is absolutely just a wreck. And I'm talking about broadcast media. We're talking about CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, News Nation, uh, all of them, all of the main broadcast channels that you might watch, even your local stuff is broken. And the reason is that it has been very clearly painted as black and white photo for everybody to see with this situation regarding the young man, the like 22-year-old man who assassinated Charlie Kirk, and the way that they're doing the coverage and the way that they're trying to grasp and understand what he was thinking and what all these little things mean. Like, they have no clue. My kid, who's 18 years old, knows more from the press briefing than probably most of the adults, right? And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's just one thing. No, they're literally spending all day confused about it. And this goes back to the conversations that we were having over summertime about the problem of the baby boomers hanging out for maybe a little bit too long in the workplace than they should be. A lot of these people I'm seeing on the news are probably first wave Gen Xers, a lot of these commentators, but then the people that they're bringing in are all these retired FBI law enforcement guys, and like every piece of speculation out of their mouth is trash. It's just trash, and they don't know what they're saying. And these are people on the left and people on the right and people in the dead center. Like, every take so far I've heard is wrong. The only person I've heard that has said anything that is real clear was that fellow Pearl Mania, who's on here and across social media. And they should be having him on there explain this stuff to them, because they don't understand the minds of young people. Let me put it into terms that might make sense. If the Kent State shooter back in the 60s had left a bullet casing and written the word "that's rad" on it, even though that's the 70s, 80s term, right? But for example, right? And then the news media picked up on it and they're like, we're trying to understand what "that's rad" means. And it's a term that goes back to communist China and communist Russia, where it's radical and they believe in radical ideologies. Like, you couldn't be further away from the truth. And the way that they're interpreting some of these things is absolutely it's beyond belief. I didn't want to use like other language, but I'm going to say it's beyond belief. And it just shows how disconnected and out of touch and unable they are to bridge the generational gap and accurately report on the generational gap. They're just too far gone. And all of those people that you see on there, maybe from like, I don't know, Chris Cuomo down, like, boom, just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. They have enough people coming out of like journalism programs that need jobs that should replace every one of those people that you're seeing on there. And when it comes time to, need an expert voice to weigh in on something, you better vet that person. And you better spend time and like, okay, does this person know what he's talking about? Or is it a shit show out of his mouth? Because every single person talking about this kid out of Utah has no clue what they're talking about. First off, the dad is like a MAGA cop who's a minister, and they come from a Mormon family, and all of those things on the bullet casing, they are very specific. There's no lack of understanding if you're probably 30 and younger. And there's a specific way to say it too. There's like inflections on how you say it. Go look it up. That's not my jam. That's why you're not hearing me on the news talking about that. But, every kid would be like, be telling you, oh, they'll be telling you, what's this? They'll be telling you what that is, because that's what it is. And then you might need to understand what the greater context is. And so this has just exposed what's really wrong with mainstream and probably all media. And last night, like, I was flipping and I got to, I think it was Fox News, and I forget who was on there, but no, forgive me. I was on News Nation, and Chris Cuomo was on there, and he had Geraldo Rivera, and Bill O'Reilly on there. And their takes were so piss poor and awful, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that the people running that network had Geraldo Rivera and Bill O'Reilly on as side guests to Chris Cuomo. It's like, you want to tank that guy's show? Put those two on there. I think the people at News Nation secretly hate Chris Cuomo. Like, and I'm not asking for people's opinion on Chris Cuomo, but the people he works for secretly hate him if they're willing to have those two dudes on as panelists. Like, I can't think of a more a faster way to tank your audience and a faster way to show that you're just not serious. And that's really, not being serious is a large part of this. So you want to talk about generational breakdown? Just turn on the mainstream news. And it's no wonder that there's 1.2 billion people on this platform. It's no wonder that, I make a post about Hyundai and I got 150,000 people commenting on the thing and viewing it and sharing it worldwide. It's like clearly people feel the need to get their commentary from somewhere other than there, because you're not going to learn anything except for being misled by those people. And that's really a shame, because it's a breakdown in what's going on at those channels. And the fact that they're operating off of ad revenue too is another mystery of all time. And they just need to fire all those people and put them out to pasture and say, have a nice retirement. We paid you enough money. It's a business decision. It is absolutely a business decision. It's like, I'm sorry, but for the sake of the longevity of the channel, you all need to go. And if you watch media from any other country, you will see that they have much younger people on their channels for a reason. Because the minute that you exclude the younger generations from your programming, it's the signal that you're not taking their lives and their future and their information serious at all. And if you're going to exclude them, then they're just not going to turn in. And if you think that, so we can try that for a couple of years. No, you need to adopt it permanently. You need to adopt that permanently, and you need to move forward, because every one of these people I'm seeing, and I'm watching News Nation there. I don't know this guy's name. He's like the white guy he's like a skinny, more serious looking version of Glenn Powell with the like bouffant hair. That guy needs to go. Like, he's okay, but he needs to go. He's okay. That guy is okay, but he needs to go. He's too far gone. And all the people on his panel right now, they shouldn't even be talking to those people. Like, but what are you going to do, right? They're going to drive themselves into the ground, and no one's watching them, and people are going to continue to not watch them. And they're just running off the gas of baby boomers. That's it. Most Gen X people I know don't watch that stuff. Anyways, be well.